So I'm out in my garden today with my Roselle, Hibiscus sabdariffa. It is doing really well this year. It's actually the tallest it's ever been. It's over the fence line there, and I'm 5 foot tall, so it's probably about 7 feet. Some of these branches are about they're really tall this year. Last year I think they were probably more like this height in there, but they've done really well, and you can see I ended up putting in some yarn to keep them from flopping over. They actually stood up very fine until they started flowering, and then they get these heavy fruits on them, and then they start wanting to lean over. And I actually did put some yarn up around when we thought we might be getting Hurricane Laura a few weeks ago, but then it didn't come, so I took it down, and then as soon as they started flowering I had to adjust. But let's go look at this. I'm gonna harvest these today because they are ready. Then I'll let them sit around and actually sit them around and dry. I'll pull this off, and this is what you would make the tea out of, and underneath I will keep the seeds. The seed pods will still ripen. Last year, so what I did last year was I left, actually my first batch last year, excuse me while I keep changing my thoughts here, I just left them whole for a while, but then they started kind of molding. So then I started pulling off the red part, and the technical term is escaping me. I'll try to put it in the video here, and put those off and put them on a plate, and they dried just fine. And then I was able to have my hibiscus tea. And actually probably 5 years ago, I would actually put them in a dehydrator, but I really did not need to do that. I felt like just air drying them, keeping them kind of separated so they wouldn't mold, was just fine. But the flowers are gorgeous. This one's already starting to close. This has closed even more since I came out here a minute ago. Yeah, you can see them all. They're all starting to close. But they open up in the morning. They're very, very beautiful, like a typical hibiscus. And let's see if I can zoom in here. You can see all of that. It's so gorgeous. But right after noon, they'll start closing up. And let me see. And they'll fall off. The flowers will fall off and look like that. And then you'll start getting the seed pods. And I'm gonna let these smaller ones ripen longer, but all of these big fat ones back here, I will pull off now and start start harvesting them. See how look how good those are. So excited. So I started these actually this year inside. They started inside under lights when I started my tomatoes in January, and then I put them out in March, and now they're finally fruiting. And I feel like they're a little bit late. There's a nice little honeybee there from our hive. I feel like they're a little bit later than last year. Last year I actually started the seeds in the ground in June, and I feel like by end of August I was getting flowers. So I don't know, it's just kind of weird. But also they weren't nearly as tall. So this year they're super tall. I started them under lights, moved them out in March, and here we are. They're so gorgeous. I love it. And I'll let them go until probably our first frost. We'll see how long that is. Last year was in October, a little bit early. Usually it's like December here, or sometimes November. We'll see how long they go. But I'm gonna have plenty of seeds. So beautiful today.